Feathers McGraw is back. The greatest British penguin villain of all time is back for vengeance for Wallace and Gromit in Wallace and Gromit Vengeance Most Fowl. This will see the return of Feathers McGraw, who we last officially saw in Wallace and Gromit The Wrong Trousers, who stole the wrong trousers and used Wallace to steal a diamond and led to a very intense train track scene with guns in the climax before Gromit sent him into jail. However, more recently we've seen him appear in Aardman's latest film, Chicken Run 2: Dawn of the Nugget, where he cameoed in the background at the end. If you want to see a whole video discussing Feathers McGraw's relationship to the chickens and how Ginger may have created this murderous robbing penguin, then you can go and check out our video on it by clicking the card somewhere up there, or there'll be a link down below in the description. But today, we're going to discuss how Feathers McGraw is back after prison, and where he may have been, and how this has led him to his great revenge plot against Wallace and Gromit. Let's discuss everything we know about this new film. But before we go any further, please make sure that you click that red subscribe button down below and have your notifications turned on. The synopsis for this new film states, Vengeance Most Fowl sees Gromit's growing concern as Wallace becomes over-dependent on his inventions, which proves justified when Wallace invents a smart gnome that seems to develop an evil mind of its own. But who or what could be the cause? As events begin to spiral out of control, it's up to Gromit to put aside his qualms and battle sinister forces, or Wallace may never be able to invent again. So it's very likely that we see Feathers McGraw is going to mess with these new smart gnomes, and that is how he's going to plot his vengeance. So it looks like the new business that the duo are looking into now is the rise of AI technology, which very much fits with Wallace's inventions. I mean, the Curse of the Were-Rabbit had him creating lots of high-tech and dangerous technology that could very easily be compared to AI today, and we know that in each film it's a new business for the duo, such as window cleaning in A Close Shave, bakers in A Matter of Loaf and Death, and in The Wrong Trousers, A B&B, which is how the pair met Feathers McGraw in the first place. This time, the focus is on selling tech gnomes, which should be very interesting, and it looks like Feathers McGraw's plans of vengeance will be to mess up the duo's business reputation by turning the gnomes and AI technology against Wallace and Gromit. But how will Feathers McGraw pull off this plan? Well, I do think it will be a very long and calculated attack on the duo, and not just a simple he gets out of jail and attacks, because we know Feathers McGraw likes to plan and plot. Throughout The Wrong Trousers, we see him plan for several weeks in Gromit's room his scheme to get the diamond, so much so that Gromit has to leave because it's been that long. And Nick Park, creator of Wallace and Gromit, has stated, "We've had fun bringing him back in cameo capacities, but now, 3 decades on, it felt like the right time." And it's these cameo appearances throughout these last films that makes me think this revenge scheme could actually have been taking place throughout all of the past Wallace and Gromit films that we've had since The Wrong Trousers, and that this film might actually span many years and many flashbacks. In the teaser trailer, we see Feathers McGraw first entering prison, which suggests that this scene actually takes place just after The Wrong Trousers, where at the end of the film, we see Wallace and Gromit sending Feathers to a prison that is also the zoo at the same time. And so, since we're starting at the end of The Wrong Trousers, and this film is meant to take place after all of those other films that we've already had, plus we've had lots of cameos since then, it makes me believe that this film will have a very long time span looking at Feathers McGraw to plan his revenge, and we may even see him watching past events in previous in order for him to have time to make his plan, such as watching events in A Close Shave, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, or A Matter of Loaf and Death. So he is being very careful and waiting to plot his scheme and attack at just the right moment. Speaking of which, we have more evidence for this. We see that in A Close Shave, the first film after The Wrong Trousers, that Gromit ends up in Feathers McGraw's jail cell, which contains books on penguins and writing on the wall saying Feathers was here. We see in The Curse of the Were-Rabbit during the battle in the vegetable competition, Feathers McGraw can be seen spying on Gromit, and then in the final film A Matter of Loaf and Death, when Wallace is trying to save Paella from being eaten by crocodiles, they ride past the zoo, which at the side has a wanted poster for Feathers McGraw, stating he is missing, suggesting that throughout all of these 3 films, he has been missing and has been planning his revenge and spying on Wallace and Gromit all this time. Plus, he has cameoed in the Shaun the Sheep movie, which we know takes place after a close shave, and therefore after the wrong trousers. Considering he is wanted, it could suggest that this film will also see his escape from prison, which in the timeline, because of course we've seen Feathers' cell that Gromit ends up going into, suggests that it would take place between the wrong trousers and a close shave. And we could see his escape from prison and his hiding from the authorities throughout all of these past films, whilst he plans his vengeance. In the video game Wallace and Gromit Project Zoo, we see Feathers McGraw's time in the zoo, where he captures animals in order to dig for diamonds underneath the zoo. Now, this could also be how he escapes prison in this film, by using the other animals in prison or digging out of the zoo prison somehow. And considering we now know that he grew up with the chickens, we know he's very good at digging out of prisons, because that is exactly what Ginger used to do. And let's also not forget, the chickens are masters at escaping prison-like farms, which could be where Feathers McGraw learnt his skills of how to escape this prison. I am so excited for this new film, to see Wallace and Gromit back at making and creating new inventions, this time with the help of AI, just sounds absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait to see Feathers McGraw's return and see what he has been planning for Wallace and Gromit for all these years. But guys, what do you think about this? Do you reckon that Feathers McGraw has actually been planning his revenge throughout all of these past films, and has actually been out of prison throughout all of these past films, and during all of these films has actually been spying on Wallace and Gromit so that he can create the most perfect plan to revenge and mark his vengeance on the duo? I actually think it would be so cool if they did go with this idea, and that we actually got to see Feathers McGraw in some of the past movies that have came out, like A Close Shave, like A Curse of the Were-Rabbit, like A Matter of Life and Death, and we could actually see different sections of those films, but from Feather McGraw's perspective, like we've seen in those cameos, and I think that would just be so cool. But anyway guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, make sure that you smash that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Guys, let me know down below in the comments, how much of this do you agree with me? Do you reckon that this might be the case? And also while you're down below in the comments, are you excited that we finally have the return of Feathers McGraw and that we finally have a brand new Wallace and Gromit film? I mean, it has been over 15 years since the last one, so it is so cool that we finally get a brand new film. And as always, we've been here on Gated Theories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.